Welcome to the Popcorn Talk Network, for the online broadcast network that features movie discussion, news, and interviews. Press 1.
Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's light.
From the Popcorn Talk Network, the online broadcast network for movie talk, and the schmoes know, this is DC Movie News, bringing you the most up-to-date discussion and commentary within the DC Universe.
Welcome, everybody. My God, that's loud in my ears, but that's okay. This is a marathon day for us here at the DC Movie News Show Oof, this feels good. The music, the score of today's episode, how does it feel for you?
It feels good. How does it feel having all that space over there? Because Roxy Striar is literally inside of me.
But you're wearing your Batman PJs. I think if you're going to be comfortable having her inside you, it'd be in Batman PJs.
How can I be inside you? How?
I'm just amazed at how close you are to me right now.
I don't understand why you think that this is like a personal choice. Steven, can you back me up that you asked me to sit this close to Adam because you may or may not have plans for us?
You need to be inside Adam.
Fine.
And that's how we're starting off, and that's what we're all about. Some
I can
sensuality.
get used to it. I can get used to it.
Remember how our YouTube comments this week were like, ooh, this show, it was a little sexual this week. Well, now this week, we're starting off strong, guys. We miss you, Mike Konowski.
Yes.
We miss you.
I know Mikey couldn't make it today, but hey, we just got done doing our watch along for Batman Begins. We hop right into DC Movie News. We're spending a lot of time together today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with it as well.
Adam is not, clearly.
I don't know. I just feel like your pants should be visible on this episode.
Listen, anybody that didn't tune in, you can see right here.
Oh my God.
Pants that I'm wearing. Can you see?
Someone make a GIF or a meme out of this right now? Yes, I would love.
Just
Thank
like
you.
this. Like that? How does that feel? Oh my God, I'm giving birth.
Oh God!
Giving birth to Roxy Striar.
That looks really painful.
Oh!
I have to tell you that the iTunes users right now are so confused. People listening to this podcast, I couldn't see the split you just did.
Did I just see a bad start? Sorry, forget
Oh
it.
God.
Okay, let's get into it, everybody. That gentleman, well, first off, at DC Movies SK, Facebook.com/DC Movies SK. I'm Jonny Loquasto, at JQuasto on the Twitter. That lovely lady right there is the crown jewel of the DC Movie News Show. You can find her on Twitter at Roxy Striar. She is Boston strong. She's Roxy Striar.
That is true. I'm all of those things. I am spending so much time with my boys today that I love it.
Well,
I
love
feel
it.
like we're growing stronger and closer by the minute.
We are. We
Yeah.
are. Kalinowski's out there doing some work, though. He's like, we can't say what he's doing, but he's doing some top secret superhero stuff.
Are we going to have the Batman Begins music playing all day? Because
I'm okay
I love
with
it.
it.
I'm okay with it too.
Of course we are.
If we
That's
could have
awesome.
this kind of score, I mean, come on now. Come on now. That gentleman right there, he is the host of Man vs. Child on the FYI Network, which will be filming Season 2 very soon. We're very excited for him.
Yes.
He's also the host of FX Movie Download on FX. Find him on Twitter at Adam Gertler. He's Adam Gertler!
What's up, everybody?
Man.
It was a lot of fun watching Batman Begins to start the day. Mm-hmm. And even though I just watched it last week, it's so good.
Question, is this the latest in the day you've ever rocked the Batman?
No, the last time I wore this outfit actually was at Comic-Con when we were in Hall H with our man who got us in there, whose name is slipping right now.
I just can't believe you asked that question when it's noon. Do you think this is the latest Adam's ever worn?
Maybe
those?
he's an early riser. I don't know.
Did you see him when he got here this morning?
What?
You're rubbing your eyes.
Was I?
Yeah.
I was up quite early this morning, but I was in bed for a lot of it.
Yeah.
But hey, it was a lot of fun, and we got some things to talk about. I mean, not a huge news week. I mean, Star Wars really kind of dominated the movie news this week, so I think...
We had some really cool BVS posters mimicking the Star Wars one. Or
I
the
saw that, I
DCEU
saw
one.
that.
That was kind of cool.
Daisy and, what was it, Daisy and... was it John Boyega's character running away from Batman or something like that?
Well, there was one of the regular poster, and then they put Gallon and all the whole thing, so it was cool.
Well, look, these are obviously the two biggest movies that are coming out in a row. Star Wars is obviously first, but then after that, the focus is going to be BVS.
BVS.
And in fact, it's going to be really interesting because Star Wars is going to dominate the entire holiday season, right? Yeah. Then we kind of go into hibernation. Then mid-June, we're going to start thinking about, ooh, this little film Deadpool comes out. Deadpool's going to be a great little appetizer in February. And then in March, it's BVS time already.
I know.
Well, yeah, and then spring break for everybody.
Do you have the countdown? What's the countdown?
Oh.
The exact days. I mean, March
Damn it.
25th, so...
March 25th, yes.
So we're just about 5 months.
Although, myself and any lucky people that waited in line are going to get to see it a week early. Thank you, Zack Snyder.
That's
With
so
a
dope.
+1. Thank you, Adam Gertler.
Maybe.
And I will just watch your Periscope.
You might get there, too. I
I
have a
give you
feeling
more
by the time
space?
we
Dude,
get there.
I don't know how to get hookups for anything. I'm always way behind.
Well, you know
on
what?
that.
You have this from now till then to focus on it and try to get that hookup.
I'll just wish it, and maybe
Listen,
it'll happen.
there was a film that I saw once that had this great line that I always use it. It's one of my main philosophies, and it said, "Look, training is nothing. Will is everything."
I wonder what movie that was.
And another movie said, "If you will, it is no dream." Can you name that film?
Oh, that's The Big Lebowski all day.
Thank you very much.
If you will it, dude, it is no dream.
Exactly. So you put Batman and The Big Lebowski, two of my favorite films, together.
What do you
lose.
get?
And you get, if you will it, it is no dream.
It's a win-win.
It is everything.
It's like a chocolate cake with vanilla frosting.
Oh, up top. I don't get it, but I love it.
Yes.
Boom. It's like
Yes.
Adam Gertler's Surf and Turf Sausage.
Right.
It's a win-win.
You've got that sausage.
All right,
Okay.
we got some stuff here for you. First off, Total Film dropped a bunch of amazing photos just in the last hour, I believe. I don't know if we have any. Just feel free to throw them up as you get them. But first off, the budget of BVS might be the most expensive budget in movie history, they're saying. It possibly $410 million.
Oh, boy.
Does that make you guys feel extra confident or extra nervous?
It's,
It's fine.
look, if they're spending a lot more on this film, I think a lot of it has to do with the really long production schedule. I think when they started making the film, I feel like they were getting their ducks in a row as they were going, when they really were realizing the scope of what they were making. So I think a lot of it goes toward investing in the future of films. The article also mentions that Justice League 1 and 2 are not going to have that kind of budget.
Right.
You know,
More
listen,
modest, maybe 250.
I don't really
Pocket
care.
change.
At the end of the day, well, they're filming those together too. Sure. That's going to be, what was that, like an 18-month shoot or something that
Yeah.
starts like
Long
soon.
time.
Which actually saves them money.
Guys, Justice League is coming in like 2017. It's
know.
like it's happening soon.
18-month shoot.
So, listen, if Batman v Superman is great, the last thing we're going to be saying is like, wow, they spent too much money on it.
Sure.
And if it's not great, it's gonna be a kick in the pants. But if there's any studio that can afford it, it's certainly WB.
Ain't that a kick in the pants?
That's true, but you think that the reason that they have to spend so much money is because they didn't have their ducks in a row?
No.
I think so. I think that's part of it.
Or do you think it's that they're doing something that
Because
no
I
movie
think
has
that-
done before and they have to pay for something that we can't even possibly conjure up right now?
Well, their reasoning is, quote, the addition of big-name cast members, practical sets, and an extended production schedule could have all contributed. So,
Right, so if there are a lot of big practical sets that are going to play off in other films, those, like building Wayne Manor, I don't know, like building the Fortress of Solitude, like things like that are going to come back into play, then maybe that justifies it.
What I like is that we're giving them all the resources necessary to make a kick-butt film. It doesn't necessarily mean that it will be, but I have full confidence, and I think that this will help.
oh, I think it's going to be. I don't think there's any. I have no doubt that it's going to
And
be.
at the end of the day, if you spend $500 million and make $1 billion, still a good investment.
They are saying the benchmark has to be $1 billion.
Oh, if it doesn't make $1 billion, we said this for months. It's a flop if it doesn't make $1 billion.
Yeah, which I don't-
especially when you spend $400 million, it is a flop if you don't make $1 billion.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
and that
people
would
thought-
affect the rest of the DCEU, I think. If this is a flop, oh my God, it's going to affect the rest of the slate.
Yeah.
I don't see how it can be.
Well,
So it won't be. If you will it, what was it?
It
if
is
you will,
no dream.
it is no dream, dude.
It is no dream.
I certainly hope it's not. What else we got? We got more Batman v Superman.
We got
gossip?
plenty of BVS stuff. Speaking of which, though, let's not forget our year anniversary is coming up really soon. We have to figure out the number of episodes, but I know we started in November.
Wow.
We started early because remember I just got back from the Middle East and we started early November, so we're like a couple weeks away from a year anniversary. We should do
Oh,
something.
you
cool.
went to the Middle East twice?
This year I did, but last
Yeah.
year in October. Remember that's why we
Right around
started.
Thanksgiving, I remember.
I went October 9th to the 26th, and then we started like a week or two afterwards. So I
Okay.
think we're getting there. So your anniversary, it's pretty big stuff.
Oh
We're
my
so
God.
old, guys. It's
Yeah,
great.
I know. We've all grown together.
And Doghouse Restaurants just celebrated their 5-year anniversary yesterday too. So
Congratulations.
that's thank you.
That's
Yeah,
a
who-
lot of great sausage over there.
Who that worst mocker? Who that worst mocker?
What's Wurstmacher?
That's what he is.
I am the Wurstmacher, the maker of the Wurst.
Oh, Wurstmacher.
Yes, he is indeed. Oh boy! All right, here's some good stuff. Scoot McNairy was quoted talking about BVS. How grounded will it be is the question, and obviously we already have a darker, more grounded tone. He says, and I quote, "This is the superhero film that is more grounded in reality than any of the other ones. It's a comic book movie, yes, but it's still very, very grounded."
You see, I find that so hard to believe, having just watched Batman Begins, and what I love about it is how grounded that film is.
What could be more grounded than very grounded?
I mean, when you're dealing with, like, aliens and, you know, a much more, you know, super heroic looking Batman, it's hard to say it's grounded. It almost makes me nervous because I feel like now the cast is just like droning on and like, this is what you have to say, this is what you have to say. It's almost like it's a bit too much.
Could it just be in reference to the performances though? Could it just be about the people, the actors, and they
Maybe
are
he means it just.
grounded?
He could mean that it just shows a lot of vulnerability, perhaps, among the characters. I mean,
I think what they mean by that it's grounded is, you know, it's always that question of like, if this were to really happen, how would it play out in the world? And you don't have a lot of that winking to the camera where you kind of say, oh, well, it's a comic book movie. Like, this is how it plays out. And again, that's what I love so much about particularly the first two Nolan Batman films. And, you know, that's how I want to see my Batman v Superman. So, you know, the darker, the grittier, the better, the realer, the more grounded.
I think it is kind of funny. We just got done discussing a $410 million budget and then followed up with, oh, but it's grounded.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see how they're mutually exclusive.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I mean, you could have like an epic war film that costs that much money, but to recreate war, it needs to be that grandiose. Yeah, let's really see. Well, Warner Brothers certainly has confidence in Zack Snyder, and
do you have as much confidence in him?
Sure.
I you know what? I haven't seen the film, so I can't say that I have as much confidence in, you know, because Warner Brothers has actually seen the movie. Zack Snyder has made some great films, and he's also made some not so great films. So,
But they've all been pretty.
They are all pretty. No, I mean, look, I'm confident.
So are the Nolans, though.
It's just getting to the point where like I want to see it already. I want to see it.
You still got 5 months.
Time does fly, though. Think about how fast this year's gone.
It really does.
That's true. We said we had a whole year to talk about with no movies coming out, and now we're almost at 2016.
Oh, 5 months more.
But we still have more news, which is good. It keeps us going.
Master Bruce, do we have to wait 5 months more?
Oh, why? But you're Bruce Wayne. That was like an Oliver.
What?
Like, please, sir, can I have some more?
No, it was Alfred.
That was your Alfred.
Yes. Who do you think it was?
No, it was your Alfred. That sounded like Oliver.
I'm sorry. I don't know that many different British dialects.
I think it's very possible that Alfred was like a young Oliver Twist. He's very Cockney.
You do?
Yeah, because he's very Cockney.
Does he sing Oliver or Alfred? Never before has a boy wanted more.
Moving on.
I don't know what you're singing, but I'm on board. Whatever you want to sing.
Theater majors. Yeah.
So General Zod, y'all.
My favorite quote machine. Now, this is a guy I don't get sick of hearing from. Michael Shannon.
He's your number one. He's your number one favorite. We got a lot of good ones. I know that you love The Rock and all of his swerves.
Yeah, but Michael Shannon he has so much fun with everything.
I agree.
Fantastic. So yeah, Sean O'Connell at cinemablend.com had a really cool article. He got a chance to talk to General Zod, Michael Shannon, and he asked him, he goes, hey, you going to get any lines in BVS? And he responds with, I quote, yeah, I'd say some stuff, but not a whole lot. I mean, I am dead. I'm just like a ghost. It's kind of like Russell Crowe in the first one, Jor-El. For some reason, these Kryptonian spirits, they linger. Even once you crack my neck, you can't shut me up. In other words,
he's got flippers.
Yeah.
What do you think of that, Roxy?
I don't trust a word he says, and I love that I don't trust a word he says.
Yeah,
but that's great. Yeah, I say some stuff. What on earth does that mean?
Here's what I think. Here's what I think. And chat roll, I'm curious if you guys agree or disagree.
Sorry, guys,
with this.
the internet's not really working for me, so I can't get. I'm trying desperately to get in the chat roll to talk.
I'm in it, Johnny.
You are?
She's in.
That's amazing.
So I think that we already heard that Batman in the desert is probably a Nightmare Batman.
Sure.
That it looks like that there is some dream sequences in this film. I could clearly see if Clark is having a crisis of faith within himself because the world is hating him, and whatever forces him within his mind when we see this cult of Superman worshippers, I certainly think in that area, it makes sense for General Zod to make a ghostly reappearance.
So you believe that there are versions of Batman that can have different illusions of things that aren't actually happening?
You're reaching. I know where you're going with this.
What?
I'm going to swat it down.
You already confused me.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a reference to when we were watching Batman Begins, and when Bruce takes a whiff of the blue flower and he's tripping flower with the League of Shadows
And
when
he
they're
has
giving
to
him his
open
ninja
the
test.
box.
And he opens a box, and then these bats fly out.
But
Roxy said that there's no bats there. It's all in his mind.
All
I
of
said there's
those-
probably a couple of bats.
Not all the bats could have even fit in the box. There are no bats.
No, there's like
It's a
3
vision of
bats in there.
imagination, as we know from many different stories that Bruce can do, and also he is tripping. And in this,
Tripping
I believe
flowers,
he's
yeah.
tripping flowers. And
You tripping.
And in this, I believe a lot of the things that we've seen in the teasers have been, or in the trailer have been, figments of his imagination with
Yeah,
the
but you're
writing on the.
Totally different, but you can't use like one film to justify your
No,
logic
that
for
was
another film.
No,
But
no,
I will
I'm
side-
not using that. That was a low. That was just a low blow to you. I was just kicking you while you were
Well,
down.
you're close enough to me that you could blow anywhere.
Okay, then I will side with you, some sensuality, that it was the blue flower causing the bats to fly out. I'm with you on that one.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I could have used that during the watch along.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But what do you think about this one? How do you think General Zod makes an appearance in this film, if you had to guess?
I mean, clearly we see him as a corpse.
Okay, but if he's talking, then in what capacity do you think he talks? Do you think he gets reanimated, or do you think he's like making a nightmarish reappearance?
Well, it's really funny you mentioned that because, we want to say the whole Doomsday thing, but the next story we're going to talk about is a claim that Doomsday is not in the film, and then Homeboy's Instagram got deleted. So there's some weird stuff. I don't know. He's got to have some kind of role, though. Unless they're just setting it up for
I don't know, yeah.
Who has to have some kind of role? Doomsday?
Zod's.
I don't think he has to at all.
I'm looking in the chat right now. It's hard to see, but Jonas Tiger, I think. Zod turned into the Penguin. Zeno says Michael Shannon is the Troll Master General.
He is the Troll Master
He's
General.
damn good at it. I love it.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of different theories going on. Some of them I think are yanking our chain. But
So what do you think?
Are you yanking my crank?
So what do you think about this Doomsday business?
All right, let's move on to this. So 3D character artist Sean Ray, working for the moving picture company, so he posted a picture of the Trinity, and I guess he spoke a little bit too much or something.
So this is a guy that worked on the VFX of the film, and he basically spoke about that they wrapped the film.
Someone commented on his Instagram, said, "Hey, what was it like doing Doomsday?
Did you render Doomsday?"
Yes,
Right.
and the question is this dude in trouble? Because his quote back was, haha, unfortunately he's not in the film, maybe in Man of Steel sequel or Justice League film, who knows. But since then, that post and his Instagram account has been deleted.
Okay, so here's my question.
Apparently his whole Instagram, which is, damn, that's like some trouble.
Assuming Doomsday is not in the film, why would he get in trouble for corroborating that Doomsday is not in the film? It's like saying Abraham Lincoln is not in the film.
But we're not assuming that Doomsday's not in the film.
Okay.
Are we?
We are assuming Abraham Lincoln is
So,
not in the film.
Probably not. He's out hunting vampires.
So if Doomsday is in the film, then you could see him getting in trouble for saying Doomsday's not in the film because he's commenting on something that is in the film.
No, I think
no.
he's in trouble for commenting, period. I don't think it was his place to comment anything about the film.
I think if Doomsday is in the film, he would not be in trouble because Swerve. But because Doomsday is not in the film, and he confirmed he's not in the film, he gave information that WB didn't want us to have.
But again, that's just like saying Abraham Lincoln is not in the film.
No, it's not, because Abraham Lincoln wouldn't be in the film,
He could be.
and Doomsday would. You're saying something outlandish, and he's saying.
Well, what about
something
Brainiac? Okay, see, no, not Abraham Lincoln. What if you said Brainiac's
Yeah,
not in this film?
I think he would get in trouble for that too.
Yep.
Okay.
I think that would be an equivalent.
I think it was one of those situations like, hey, man, do your job, be proud of it, but don't go talking about the film or give anything away. I mean, dude, the fact that his entire thing got deleted, that's like, you're in trouble, man.
I just love that you think that your Instagram getting deleted, like not when you're sued or anything. When your Instagram is deleted,
that's
you
real
are
trouble.
in trouble, man.
Well, I mean, seriously.
It's not that hard to do. I mean, you just delete your account. It doesn't, necessarily mean that he's in trouble.
It's certainly not a coinky-dink, though.
No, I don't think so either. I just think that this day and age, it's hysterical that when your Instagram goes down, you're screwed.
I'm just saying, he didn't do himself any favors by maybe it was a simple, innocent thing, but I'm surprised he didn't think about that before he commented back.
Okay, well, let me ask you, Johnny, could this whole thing be Swerve? Could he have planned it? Could he have said that and he actually is in the movie?
Could he be a plant?
Yeah,
Yes.
could he be a plant?
I mean, that's a lot of overthinking with WB, but
Did he know that she knew that they said that he was like that, you know? Instead.
I don't know, man. But
Moving
yeah,
on.
go to Sean Ray, SeanRay. See if you can find his Instagram. As far as I know, it's gone.
So okay, if Doomsday's not in the film, this got me thinking. Then like back to the Aquaman thing. That Aquaman is the new threat that rises, that bonds Superman and Batman together.
Right. Is that the end of the sentence?
No, I mean it just got me thinking. I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting thought process. I was under the impression that Doomsday was going to be in this film. Now I'm under the impression that he's not. I don't know if that's necessarily fair, but I think that there's a lot of different threats. As long as it's not Lex Luthor as the major threat, then I think I'll be okay with whatever they choose.
Well, it's like you have all that talk about, what is Wonder Woman doing in that trailer, and a lot of people was like, oh, she's fighting off Doomsday. Or is she stopping a fight between Batman and Superman? But I don't know.
And didn't El Mayimbe confirm Doomsday, or was that
He seemed pretty sure about it.
He did?
He seemed pretty sure about it. But you know what? There are multiple scripts going around for this film.
That's true.
It's shrouded in a lot of secrecy. You see, more than anything...
Now it's not scripts, though, Adam. Now it's footage. Now we've got...
Right. But, like, Star Wars has done such a great job of keeping their plot under wraps.
And keeping Luke under wraps.
The lengths that films have to go through now to keep the secrets in the films, and they're not beyond doing what Johnny says, which is, like, swerving. Like, you put so much disinformation out there that keeps people guessing.
I hope that they are keeping it as secret as possible. I don't want to know. You know me. I'm not a spoiler guy.
And I will say, even to argue my own logic of saying Aquaman is the big threat, well, we know Aquaman eventually is on the Justice League team as well.
That would be something.
So,
You're devil's advocating?
Is it that Aquaman is the big threat in BVS, and then I don't know how that leads us into Justice League, or what happens there. So
it's that whole line of what is it? A new threat rises.
Right.
But would we be okay with not seeing exactly that transition of getting him into the Justice League and him just being a big threat in BVS?
No, absolutely. You're totally right. Like, Aquaman could just be a threat that is defeated at the end of Batman v Superman, and then he comes back in Justice League when there's an intergalactic threat.
Right.
It's just like that whole notion that, like, we have enemies in common, right? But when our country gets attacked,
your enemy's enemy is your friend.
right?
Well, yeah,
so
it's like look at Iran and Turkey. They want nothing to do with us, but the whole ISIS thing, we're all teaming up.
You know what? Now, and by that logic, it makes sense. So Aquaman's the villain in the first film. Whatever, it ends at a stalemate, or he gets defeated. But in the Justice League, the planet is threatened.
Yeah.
And hey, we need to go to Aquaman because we need him, because now and your oceans are part of this planet.
So Batman and Superman need to join together to defeat Aquaman, because Aquaman is doing what?
Well, Aquaman has all the Atlanteans, perhaps. He's got all
pissed
the
off.
oceans. I mean, like, he creates this, like, global massive threat, and Batman needs to use his brains to, combat.
And that would be a
Aquaman's
hell of a
brawn.
cliffhanger leading into Justice League, would it not?
What's the cliffhanger?
Whatever happens with Aquaman versus BVS. Batman and Superman.
I don't know yet.
But then again, this is Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
But something's got to join them together. We know that they have to be together by the end, so...
Yeah, and then eventually, then that could be the cool little cliffhanger leading into Justice League.
5 months out, we're still guessing. We're still clueless. I think that's a good thing. It's fun to speculate. And it is cool that they wrapped BVS. That somewhere there is a copy of this. Now, I hope some enterprising little butthole doesn't, like, find a way to hack this film and leak it on the internet. That's like my biggest fear.
You mean like Lex Luthor?
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to hack it, and he's going to put it on the internet, and while he does it, he's going to ask you for your email addresses.
Yes, Lex Luthor is collecting your email. Did you guys go on LexCorp.com and try to give him the email?
How about that?
I couldn't find the link to get the email.
I couldn't find that, and I had a hard time with something we're talking about later in TV time, giving a girl kind of thing. But yeah, I think that the email thing was a little confusing. If he wants my email, he can have it.
So Lex Luthor, LexCorp, I guess in their latest bit of publicity, the whole thing about LexCorp is like it's the new Lex OS is the most private operating system, which obviously is Lex's way of spying on everyone. So now first they gave free Wi-Fi to everyone, and now they're actually collecting your email.
But we're talking about like in this world, not like in the movie. In
I know,
this world.
and I'm gonna give it to him. I tried to go on the website.
Dude,
I'm like, take my email.
I'll give him my oldest Hotmail account. I'm not afraid.
I'll give them a Hotmail account. I will also give them my social security number and a copy of the key to my house.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. And also a copy of the key to my grandmother's house.
Oh, that's
They have chicken salad, and they have Cobb salad, and they...
fruit salad.
Do you want some croutons on your salad? You could have it with no croutons, Lex.
So adorable.
How do you feel?
So adorable.
Roxy's about to have lunch with her grandmother, and her grandmother was suggesting various salad-based restaurants.
I don't think Lex would put up with that. Lex would be like, Graham, we're done. We're done, Graham.
He did. He would. Do you know what message pops up when you sign up for LexCorp?
What?
Here we go. Thank you for signing up. We'll send you the latest information on Lex OS soon.
Oh, I like it.
Very happy.
That's great. Did you sign up? Were you able to sign up?
I did not sign up yet, but I will give him my old Hotmail account for sure.
Yeah, I went into the website a bunch of times and it didn't seem to change. I scrolled all the way to the bottom. I couldn't sign in.
What do you think they're going to send you?
I think just like updates, like more of this viral marketing. We got like 5 months of like viral marketing to happen, plus all the stuff that they said is coming in the winter. This is just, they're going to keep you looped in.
In wrestling, it's called kayfabe. Kayfabe means keeping it real, like keeping it like story. You know, like back in the 80s, the bad guys would never be seen in public with the good guys, you know?
Right.
What's FABE stand for?
Kayfabe. That's just the word that's known in wrestling. And so nowadays with the internet, it's not really there. But like for this is cool. LexCorp is keeping it kayfabe. They're presenting all of this like it's real. And that's pretty cool.
That is cool. But when I look at these comments right now, Slaya275 says, I gave LexCorp a fake email, which is not keeping it real. And how are you going to get the response?
You're not going to hear what they have to tell you. Who do you think you're sticking it to?
I'm a little baffled by this.
I gave LexCorp a fake email. LexCorp ain't going to hack me.
Yeah. Like,
what?
I'm confused.
No, dude, it's an advertising thing. It's an email list.
They're not gonna
it's
hide
not
it
real.
So they're not keeping it kayfabe.
Kayfabe. Close.
It is not kayfabulous.
LexCorp, kayfabe.
Did we get those pictures out, by the way?
Oh, yeah, coming from Steven in the booth.
Oh, yeah. Did we put them up already?
Let's get
Okay, so
let's just go one after the other. Pretty amazing, man.
That's okay. So this is interesting. I saw the farther one where you actually saw Zack Snyder directing it. But this is pretty badass.
What is in the background? Is that a light? Is that
I think this is from filming.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's a strong ass Kino.
So
right
I actually think
Kino flow.
This is either like a hideout where they've got like some temporary lights, or this is actually just from the set, and that's how they lit it.
Yeah. Okay.
For sure.
Big explosion. All right.
Big explosion.
Yeah.
Batmobile.
We've seen clips of this.
I think that might be the scene where they face each other, but I can't tell in the light.
Oh, when Superman comes in and rips the doors off.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what it looks like to me too, Johnny.
Nice.
Very nice, Master Bruce.
And this is just the same version.
That's
of like
the picture where everyone's like, "Oh, she's fighting Doomsday."
Right. It's like a version of that, but she's got this weird look on her face. I gotta say, I can't wait to see her intense warrior woman face.
Yeah.
Because like that just looks like a little perplexed.
I agree. I think she's great and she's beautiful, but this is not only a little perplexed, but a little damsel in distressy looking, and I want her to be like.
She looks like off balance and awkward.
Yeah. She's beautiful, but I want her to kick butt. Okay, what do we have here? Superman
getting mobbed.
He's getting swarmed by the peeps, which we know is going to happen. There's a cult around him now. What's the red? What's in the background?
That looks.
Red?
Man, talk about cinematic.
Is that like a balloon with the red?
It's like from Dia de los Muertos.
Yes.
Day of the Dead. There you go.
So it's like little paper mache Superman effigy.
Good accent, by the way, Steven.
Yeah, there you go, Steve.
Yes.
All right, what are we looking at?
So this was that same scene that we just saw with the light, and you can see Zack Snyder directing.
Yeah, very cool.
Gosh,
this looks like Batman on the trail.
The intricate details.
He's trying to get information.
For a film like this, it's just beyond me.
I have a feeling it's going to be Batman that exposes LexCorp for being, Lex Luthor for being the evil son of a bitch that he is. Yeah.
Well, that would make sense when you see Bruce Wayne running towards the building, and then he
And then I can see him sharing this information with Kal-El at some point.
Going back to the scene with the fire, Renee Silva says Batman ran a stop sign and Superman didn't like it. I think that's probably what it is.
I think that's the whole premise of the movie.
I think so too.
What's that?
Batman ran a stop sign and Superman didn't like it. So.
That's the premise of Civil War, though, guys.
Yes, that's true.
Bummer.
There are a lot of similarities there.
Such a copycat move.
What are you gonna do?
All right, so cool. There was also so you had the Scoot McNairy quote from this. This is all from the Total Film article that came out today. You had the Michael Shannon quote. There was also an Amy Adams quote. Did you have what Amy Adams was basically saying?
I do not have the Amy Adams quote.
So basically, Amy Adams was saying how when she comes into the film, she said there's not much she can say about it. She'll be able to say more in a few months when they're talking about the film. But she said she comes into it when Batman and Superman are kind of like facing off. She said when she started working on the film, they'd already been running and gunning for a couple of weeks at that point.
I don't know if we've ever really discussed Amy Adams. What are your thoughts on her? How did you feel about her performance?
I like her. I like her very much as Lois. I like that they didn't try to do the whole BS thing, not to be confused with BVS, but like keeping the identity from her. I think she's like she tracked it down. She's like an intrepid reporter, and she figures out the identity. I think she's cool.
How did you feel, John?
I think she fits the role perfectly. She's beautiful, but she's not like intimidating.
She doesn't look like a supermodel that you don't believe that she's an investigative journalist.
Yeah, I agree. I think that she's perfect for it, so I'm excited to see more of her.
No doubt. Let's talk a little bit of Booster Gold.
Yes, Johnny. So you're up for this role.
Yeah, I can't believe we didn't start with this. It's Johnny's favorite topic.
Yeah, me and...
This is interesting because today is actually Back to the Future Day.
Yeah.
Right?
30-year anniversary?
30-year anniversary.
God almighty.
Yeah, because in 1985 was the first one, and then the second one, they went to 2015, and I think it's like October 23rd or whatever, like today's date, right?
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing when we talk about news. That's the 21st. It's my favorite thing when we talk about news that nobody was thinking was going to happen, but we are discrediting that it might happen. Like, what we are about to do is nobody was thinking that Bob was going to be involved in a Booster Gold movie. But
Bob Gale, who wrote the Back to the Future trilogy. But I think what's more interesting is what he said about superhero movies in general.
No, absolutely. I just think it's hysterical when it becomes news that somebody who nobody had any intention of directing or working on anything is not working on something.
Yes. well, we are very starved for any kind of news in this whole thing. And so I guess somebody posted the thought to him that, would he be interested in doing Booster Gold?
Right.
Since he did a time travel film, and obviously he likes time travel.
Right.
And he had a real curmudgeonly, kind of crusty old answer. So he must be up there in years. I don't know how old the guy is, but if he wrote that film 30 years ago, he can't be very young. But do you have the quote?
Well, yeah, his quote here.
I like it.
He wrote the Back to, like you said, the trilogy. He wrote for DC Comics in the 90s.
Okay, that was the other thing. So he's written for DC Comics before, so it is,
and Marvel as well. Actually,
so it's a good leap.
No, I think he would be
it's
great.
not a quantum leap to say that he might be interested in doing another time travel thing.
What a great show, Quantum Leap. He says he wants to tell his original stories. He said he's like, look, I got a lot more original stories in the tank. I want to tell my own and not other people's. He said when you tell other people's stories, you piss a lot of people off. It's more trouble than it's worth. His quote is, I'm OD'd on these movies. They all seem to be pretty much the same. They're all following a formula and are way too long. It's all special effects at the expense of good characters. So yeah he's a little bit...
Prior to saying that, when he's asked if he's going to be working on it, he simply says no. And then he says, I've read Booster Gold and it's a lot of fun. So he does compliment the work, but I've come to the point where I've decided working on other people's IP is really hard. And like you said, then he goes on to say it would piss people off and etc. So I think that's completely fair. I just think it's funny that he was never.
But Roxy, you kind of have a good point because he's saying no, I'm not interested, but also it's like who is asking him to?
Yeah,
was WB interested in Bob Gale doing a Booster Gold film? Is he really turning that work down to work on that film?
If he had said, if this interviewer had asked him, is this something you're interested in, and he had said yes, would we be sitting here saying oh, he's campaigning for himself?
Well, I say good for Bob Gale. It's like, look, he's behind an iconic movie franchise. He's got all the money he'll ever need, and he says I have a lot of original stories I want to tell. He's got carte blanche. He's got all the money he would ever want to use, and he could use it on his own stuff. So I totally can. I see his point.
What has he written recently?
That I don't know.
I'm curious to know that. He's got all these original ideas he wants to tell.
Maybe he's got a couple of 8-minute shorts he wants to put.
I don't know what he's done recently. I wish I knew that, but
I'm gonna let you know.
Look, I understand that too. We know that these films are franchise films. They're team efforts. They're not one-offs. They're not auteur films anymore. I think perhaps, for better or for worse, the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy might be the last time we see that truly, unique auteur take on a franchise. Even Zack Snyder is serving the masters of Warner Brothers DC, even though he is the godfather of all these films and in a lot of ways is establishing the style. He still answers to WB.
Yep.
And I think Nolan really kind of had carte blanche. Nolan was like, there's no other superheroes in my world. This is what I'm doing. This is my Batman trilogy.
Okay. All right. In the chat, Darwin said, who's Gale? We're talking about the
Bob Gale.
Yeah,
Bob Gale.
Bob Gale. We're
How
talking
is your
about the
chat
writer.
working? I can't even log on.
We're talking about the writer of the
Back to the Future trilogy.
Trilogy. Yeah. So that's who it is. And your question, Adam, was what else has he been working on?
Yeah. Not a ton.
He's chilling.
So
by not a ton, I mean
he's laying in the cut.
Wait. Let me see anything. Back to
What's
Now you're in 2002, Interstate 60 episodes of Road.
Okay, so this sounds like sour grapes from a guy that was a really popular screenwriter like 20-something years ago.
A little bit. A little bit.
Look, hey!
He's working on something called Trespassers.
So it's like, you know what, while there's validity to the quote, there's definitely truth. You know, it's easy to be like, it's easy to call people like a sellout when you haven't had the opportunity to sell out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I agree. And also, Johnny, because I know you don't have access to the chat right now, Lewis Cox says Johnny is Booster Gold in my mind. So there you go.
oh, that's great.
He's pumping iron.
Thanks, Lewis. Thanks, Lewis. You
What's
my
it
man.
called when you make that? He's
You my
not
bro.
pumping iron. What is it?
That's not pumping iron.
Just-
that would be lifting weights.
Just-
Yeah, what is
yeah.
this?
Flexing.
Flexing.
I'm boostering.
Yes.
I was telling the iTunes people.
I'm boostering. Lego Batman time, kids.
Oh, the Will Arnett film coming out
We
in
got
2017.
We got a Batgirl, and we
Yo.
got a good one, yo.
She's my favorite.
Take it
This
away,
is
Rob.
great
Rosario
casting.
Dawson,
Take it away.
I love her so much. I've loved her for so long. Now we've got, I mean, we always
She's
have
double
people that
dipping.
are, yeah, I was going to say we have people that go in both places, but, you know, she's Marveling and she's also DCing. And
But
look
not
at her.
on camera in both places.
No, just Daredevil on camera, and here she's going to be doing voice stuff, and I love her. I've loved her forever, but especially in Rent, because I'm a huge musical nerd. She's so good. I can't wait to hear her voice. It's perfect. It's going to be amazing. She's
She was in
fabulous.
Rent?
Yeah.
She was in the original Rent?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Is that where she came from?
Rosario Dawson?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
did not know that.
I believe so. Let's fact check.
But I'm a fan though, and I love when people get excited for voiceover roles.
You know what's exciting about Lego Batman too is like we have a film that's going to be a nice palate cleanser after the really immutably serious Batman v Superman. It's going to be fun to see like the Will Arnett, Rosario Dawson.
Talk
Like,
about a dream voiceover gig, man. Oh, that'd be so fun.
do we know who's Joker in this? Has there been a Joker yet?
And yeah, they announced it.
I know. I thought we just covered that a couple
Because
weeks
Hamill's
ago.
doing the Killing Joke, correct?
Yeah, Hamill's
no.
not doing this.
No.
They announced it when we also announced Robin, and I'll try to look into it. Our
Okay.
lack of internet is.
It's a little frustrating.
Yeah, it's a
So,
little bit of an
do we have
issue.
any other big movie news this week? Did they announce who's playing Green Lantern 1 or 2?
Nope. And
Flash villains?
as far as I know, no new posts
What
from.
about Cyborg? What is the latest on the Cyborg film?
Great question.
You got nothing.
No, we got nothing.
Johnny,
I mean,
why don't you have
Stonewall him. This-
look, as far as I'm concerned, it's time for another segment that Roxy generally enjoys very, very
There's
much.
got to be more movie
Oh my
news.
God,
No,
also Rosario
there's-
Dawson and Josie and the Pussycats. It was so good. Anyway,
Wait, not the new live action Josie and the Pussycats.
no, Josie and the Pussycats.
That's the only one.
Long tails and ears for
Oh my God,
hats.
I'm thinking of Gem and the Holograms. Wow,
That's
my
coming
bad.
out this week. Oh my God, I'm
I
excited.
would say Josie and the Pussycats is live
That
action.
Can
movie
I just
was
tell you,
so
I was
bad.
trying to get
Yeah.
my advance tickets for Gem and the Holograms on Monday night, and I couldn't. All the Fandango sites were crashed.
Zach Galifianakis.
I could not get. Everybody was trying to get Gem and the Holograms tickets, and I'm dying to see this film.
This is right up there.
Galifianakis is the Joker.
That's right, Tal Galifianakis.
This is right up there with Gertler explaining what some sensuality is. It's a swerve. His
What's that?
excitement for Gem and the Holograms.
Thank
What are you
in the
talking
chat.
about? I was a huge fan. Of this
So
used
was
to be
I.
on-
The movie looks awful.
Yeah, it does look awful.
Okay, there we go.
Moving on to It's Time for
time for
Roxy Striar's TV time.
Singing on me, it would fine.
Roxy Striar's TV time. No, you're supposed to take over when I stop.
Oh, she's at the fastest fine.
It's fine to talk.
TV time.
Adam, we have to work on that.
I know. God, you'd think I'd have it all memorized by now.
You do, I know
Sorry.
you do.
My mom has a theme song too. We got to get her to call in again.
Oh, that'd be
What?
fun.
Anyway,
We need
TV
it.
world.
We need it. Okay, so obviously, can we just start by talking about the shows that aired this week?
Girl, this is TV time. You do what you want.
All right.
You
so-
live your life.
So we had Gotham episode 4, and we had Flash episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
We also had iZombie. So what are you guys thinking? How is Gotham holding up? I know that it was on the incline for a little bit.
I know Adam and I differ. I am enjoying it. It's keeping my interest, and I'm digging it. I know. Go ahead.
No, I'm just doing a lot of like internet searching while it's on. I'm not. It's not keeping my interest.
You
very
did
much.
something interesting earlier where you described it as homework.
Yeah, I feel like I'm watching Gotham because it's like, oh, there's a DC show on and I've got to watch it, but I don't get excited to watch it. And I'm sorry to anyone who thinks I'm crapping on Gotham. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But look, I'm a fan of the property. This is my world. It's Batman is obviously my favorite character.
you?
The show sucks.
Whoa.
I hate the show. It's terrible. The tone is garbage. It's all over the place. I don't care about anything. There's no stakes. It's not grounded. It's both.
It's time for Roxy Striar's TV time. Sing along with me this round. Roxy Striar's TV time. She thinks that the Flash is fine. DC movie news, it's time to talk. TV time.
Steven, great call.
I can only assume that last minute is not going to be part of the show.
Here's the thing. Do you, and not to go on another rant, but I do have to ask, do you like season 2 better than you like season 1?
No.
Wow.
I, on the other hand, don't think that Gotham is the best DC show right now.
No, of course not.
But I really like it. And I not only do I just like it
Compared
better,
to like every other TV show that's ever existed?
yes, not only do I like it better than season 1, but I just like it in general. I love watching Commissioner Gordon, and I really am liking what's going on with Selena Kyle and the whole thing. I'm liking it. I'm really liking it.
You know what's interesting is like they're starting to introduce like the Order of Saint Dumas. Mm-hmm. And like the original 5 families of Gotham,
right.
And which ties to Azrael and the Court of Owls. And my thought,
And also gives the reason for what's his name's kind of a blood feud.
Right, exactly. But like my opinion is that at this point, and listen, prove me wrong. And look, Firebug or Firefly looked great. You know, the girl that became Firefly from the family of arsons, whatever.
Yeah, I felt bad for her.
She's adorable. Yeah.
I'm not excited about seeing Azrael for the first time on screen on Gotham because I don't think they're going to do it well, and I hope they prove me wrong.
Yeah, but how do you feel about all the stuff with Riddler, Penguin?
I like Riddler. I liked when Riddler talked about why melted cheese tastes good.
Cheese.
When they were eating fondue, that definitely spoke to my food. I like the Riddler storyline, but yeah, in general, I just don't care.
Okay, Johnny, you're really liking Gotham. Can you talk a little bit about it?
Just could be. I mean, I almost choked. Why did I almost just choke?
Because Gotham can do that to you.
I'm not eating any food. I feel like this season ties it in a little bit more. Now, granted, they invented some new characters that are not even in existence, which I know will piss a few people off. I'm enjoying the performances for people, and it's my thing is it's keeping my interest. I'm not saying it's the best show, but I'm watching it and I'm enjoying it, and I'm enjoying the complete utter chaos that's happening, and I like the fact that it's super dark.
Yeah,
I'm into
But it's
that.
not. It's also very campy at the same time. Like, and that's what makes it have no stakes to me.
I think they're figuring
Because
it out.
like they'll show something really gory, but it comes out of an ungrounded moment.
I gotta tell you, I mean, maybe some people next week will join the chat that like the show, but right now the chat's completely agreeing with you.
Wow, they are, yeah.
Manny says, Gordon's okay sometimes, but oh my god, I can't watch it. Dallas says, Gotham is too cringeworthy to be known as a DC property to fame story.
Nice to see you guys agree with me.
Then we got a lot.
You guys know me. I'm not a hater. I'm an optimist. I'm trying to put the good vibes out there. But listen, I gotta say, like, I look at the DVR, and when you look at your DVR, your instincts say, "What are you gonna watch? What am I excited to watch right now?" Walking Dead pops up. You know, you see Flash. You know, you get excited to watch it. You know, when I see Gotham, I'm like, well, I better watch that because we're going to talk about it.
I just want to say a few more of these because they're completely agreeing
what
with
do you guys have
Alex
to say?
says they should remove the Batman expectations of Gotham, make it Gotham City Police Department. Joey says Gotham is boring. Simply Recommended says Gotham has my permission to die.
Wow.
You have my
Manny
permission
G
to
says I would
die.
rather watch paint dry than Gotham.
Read what East Blue Drew says.
Well, you go for it. I'm look. Oh, it's like Joel, that one.
Yeah.
It's like Joel Schumacher shitted on my TV screen.
Oh my god.
You know.
Good lord.
Which would be really interesting. I disagree with you because that would be really fascinating.
We've done a lot of poopy talk today. I feel like, you know, so I can have my feelings. You can have yours. You guys are entitled to yours. It seems to be polarizing though right now.
Yeah. Well,
and by
put it this
polarizing,
way.
I mean I haven't heard one person stick up for it in the chat.
It makes me wish Constantine was still around because Constantine really started to get it together. I know they were
Funny
on
you bring
different
that
networks.
up. Episode 5 of Arrow.
I was trying to see that segue. Nice reception. I threw it up there, and you. So okay. So episode 5 is it of Arrow?
What did I tell you guys about when you have good segues? Pointing out
talk
that
it.
you
Yeah,
can't,
it ruins it. Okay.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. So is it the next episode of Arrow? Is it episode 4 or 5?
It's five. So we still have not next episode, but the episode after.
So it's November 4th. Mm-hmm. Constantine returns. And this is going to be, I think what they're basically implying is that who goes into the Lazarus pit? Is it Sarah?
Yeah, they just took a freaking dead corpse of a body. They took it. They're going.
So what we're assuming is happening is they reanimate Sarah's corpse, And some of you guys helped point this out to me too. They reanimated her corpse, but because she's been dead so long, she comes out of the Lazarus pit, she's alive, but she's a monster. So
we got to get her to regular Sarah so she can go over to Legends.
They bring in John Constantine,
Mm-hmm.
and he does some magic spells and brings her soul back in line or something. He does like some corrective story. He does like a chiropractic readjustment of her metaphysical state.
And we only know that he's signed on for one episode, but I guarantee you if he does a good job, he's going to be one of our go-tos.
I do not want to see him showing up every episode.
No, of course not.
Couple of times a year.
If we see him twice or 3 times a season, oh yeah.
I could see him showing up in Legends of Tomorrow. Like, you know, the great thing about it is, like, once Constantine is reestablished, then he's out there. There's 3 or 4 shows for him to show up on.
It's like the same reason that I loved Flash this week, that we got Wentworth Miller back, and that, you know, we had our Captain Cold, and we also had Golden Glider. That was really cool.
I just love Jay Garrick is great, man.
Okay.
So are we moving on now? Are we moving on to
Seems like
do
we
we do
just
our
segued.
Constantine? We segued to Flash
You
now?
know how I just talked about Wentworth Miller, and then
Yes.
I segued
No,
us, and then Johnny followed?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I just want to make sure we were done with Constantine because I like talking about him.
We can go back if you want.
No, it's okay. I'm excited.
Oh, okay. So what are you excited about?
Just
Flash in general?
What I'm excited about is how natural it's going to feel, because when they did the NBC show, it obviously wasn't in the same world at that time. There was no reference to Green Arrows or Flashes or anything like that. So this is kind of the first time where they're really retconning a character that's a crossover that, as near as I can tell, was not meant to be a crossover.
Wasn't even meant to be in the same universe necessarily.
And that's never happened before, so that's really wild. So I want to see how natural that feels, and if Constantine feels as cool, or if like Constantine is going to be in like a romantic love triangle or something, a la every other CW show that ever happened.
Yeah, if you are telling me that CBS doesn't think Supergirl is in the same universe as Flash and Arrow, and they don't know how they could do a crossover, to me, Constantine is way more difficult to do a crossover with. So we'll see, not a crossover, but to take one character and bring them on. We'll see how they do.
Ninja Panda says Wally West coming in the next episode.
I have just felt the absence of Wally West since he has been announced, and we've had Jay. I keep just like waiting for the other foot to drop.
And his mother, right?
Yeah.
So Iris's mother.
Francine?
Is it? Yeah. Who's the character Vanessa Williams plays?
Yeah,
on the show?
Francine. What was her name?
I'm horrible with
Mrs.
names.
West.
Okay, so it didn't. I didn't see the whole episode, but I passed out. But I saw the scene at the bar. Where Detective West and her were together, and she was gone for 20 years. So for some reason, she hasn't watched her child grow up.
No, we found out.
Oh, we did find out in the episode?
We
Okay.
found out what happened. Do you want to keep it a secret?
Yeah, keep it a secret for me.
All right, well, it's very, very cool.
Now, I know we're running pretty close to the time you need to be finished, so what else do you want to run down?
This is what I was referring to earlier, similar to what LexCorp is doing. Supergirl has a viral campaign going on where you go to www.mysupergirlis.com.
I like that.
And you type in who your Supergirl is, and then the name's going to just rotate on this website. I don't really get it. I have to be honest with you.
So wait, you could type in Roxy Striar as my Supergirl?
It's empowering women as being
Is it?
superheroes, yeah.
Yeah, but like, how do I... The name, it's a weird...
Meanwhile, Supergirl debuts in a couple of days, right?
26th. Yeah. Yeah, I'm very, very excited.
What day is
about
that?
it.
Is that Monday?
It's the same time as Gotham.
Oh, that's right. Same time as Gotham, the whole thing.
The premiere is not the same time.
Okay,
as Gotham.
guys. Well, do we think we're going to get like a new Batman v Superman little teaser trailer or something during Supergirl?
I don't know. If you can play Star Wars during the football game, then I think you can definitely do that.
Yeah, I guess you could.
It would be pretty ballsy. It's still a long time out.
This is the website. Tell me if you understand this. We go to My Supergirl Is, and these are just people. It says My Supergirl Is, and then there are pictures that seem to be.
Can I be your
somewhere.
Supergirl?
Excuse me, can I be your Supergirl?
You're already my Supergirl.
Yeah, but then you have to go post it.
Girl,
so look, it says
you are
hashtag My
Supergirl.
Supergirl Is Melissa. And then you're supposed to type in a name.
Benoist.
So you're supposed to type in My Supergirl Is Adam. And then I hit next, and now I add your photo.
Okay.
But I'm not going to do that right now.
People in chat roll are saying, yes, we're going to see a trailer or a teaser.
Really?
I don't know.
Very cool.
I don't know.
Okay, but here's the interesting thing. If they do it...
3 new trailers are apparently on the way.
if they do it during Supergirl, it's not going to get as much hype as the Star Wars trailer, and is that going to affect the advance excitement for the film? Because like people are still high on this whole Star Wars thing.
I definitely think so.
And what?
I think you're dead on to something.
Okay.
The problem is, in the week that anything Star Wars comes out, nothing should happen.
Just stay away from
Just
it.
stay away.
Yeah, oh God, yeah.
Because you get so burned. You don't get the bang for your buck.
And this is what happened with the original teaser for BVS.
Right, which is like...
Came out like the same time, and it was like it was released but not released.
I'm a way bigger DC fan than I am a Star Wars fan, even though I freaking love Star Wars. I really do. I just am way more knowledgeable about DC, so I feel like I would be the target audience, and I still am going to be talking about the Star Wars trailer.
Yeah.
No matter what drops. So it's like, just give me a little time.
Not to mention the fact that Monday Night Football is hugely rated.
Oh, it's the #1 show every week.
Right,
Yeah, but not the
regardless
same-
of a Star Wars trailer or not. Supergirl
Not
would
the same
be...
fans, though. Not the same audience.
No, definitely not the same audience. Supergirl would be relying on using BVS to get more people to watch Supergirl.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like Star Wars was like saying like, we already know we have this huge announcement. Yeah, we're gonna get a bump from it, but it's more to announce to everybody. Like, I met people yesterday that still didn't know a new Star Wars film was coming that are football fans.
Right.
But I'm like, didn't you just watch Monday Night Football? And they didn't watch that.
To be honest, we were here. I was watching Monday Night Raw on Monday night. I didn't know a Star Wars trailer was coming.
But you know a Star Wars movie was
no,
coming.
Oh, I knew a movie was coming,
Yeah,
but
this guy didn't know that a movie was coming.
oh Jesus, wow.
Yeah. So they're all different kinds of people, and that's why you have to publicize things in different ways.
Short
which is why we
people,
have...
fat people, skinny people,
segueing.
black
I was
people,
in the middle of
white
the segue.
people,
Segueing.
Asian people.
I was segueing.
Okay.
Segueing into publicizing things in different ways, which is why WB is doing something really cool. See what I just did there? See how
You
my
brought it back.
transition? Yeah, I brought it back. So their water tower, they now have billboards for all of their shows on them, which is really awesome to see. They've got their Supergirl and Arrow.
The very famous
Flash.
WB water
Yeah,
tower?
yeah, the water tower is
Hey
really,
guys,
really cool.
can I tell you something
first
really
time
cool?
ever.
If you're at the Doghouse restaurant on West Olive Avenue in Burbank, you can see
Adam
this
Gertler.
water tower.
Oh.
Nice.
So
That's
I'm
really
going to
cool.
actually go over there right after that because we're taping this in Burbank.
Will you take a picture and tweet it out?
I'm going to go to Doghouse and I'm going to take a picture from Doghouse of the water tower.
All right, I wonder what you're facing, which show you're facing.
I'm excited.
It's very, very cool. And the last bit of news is no longer TV time, but I thought it was a nice little story, and we like to point those out here.
Yes.
J.J. Watt visited a children's hospital in Texas, and he was dressed up as Adam's very favorite character, Batman.
Oh, what I was going to say.
Was it not your favorite?
No, yes, definitely.
No,
What were you
JJ
gonna
Watt
say?
is a real life super. He's
I
awesome.
nothing.
He is Mr. Texas. If you go to Houston, he's on every single billboard. And he's one of those dudes that got money and didn't start throwing it out dumb shit. Like, his teammates tried to get him to buy a bunch of crazy stuff when he got this $100 million contract. And he's like, why? I don't need any of that. Like, he lives out in the middle of nowhere. He just does nonstop stuff for the community. And this is a great example. And he's also the best defensive player in football. So.
And you know what's really cool about this? Like, he could just go to the hospital as JJ Watt, and it would be exciting to kids.
Well, he did. He did a little bit of both, but he
did do
went
both.
around as Batman, and kids went nuts. And then he was like, "It's the funny thing is, some of the kids got more excited that he was JJ Watt instead of Batman." That was the
so
cool thing.
awesome. Yeah, he took off the cowl I saw after a while, and then he was like signing autographs and stuff.
Yeah.
So cool.
I agree. So that is our DC movie news for this week.
Oh yeah.
And Johnny is too busy talking to you guys in the chat to pay attention to me and Adam.
No, that's pretty much all we got. But great show it was. Why don't we put ourselves over and get out of here?
Okay, well, hey, I just want to let everybody know that there is a new episode of Man vs. Child on the FYI network tomorrow. Like I said, we're starting season 2 of that kind of soon. FX movie download coming up. I think our next episode is Twilight Eclipse, which is so much fun because we got to go to Forks and see where all like the crazy Twilight heads are for like the 10-year anniversary of Twilight. I had a lot of fun with this. I know it sounds crazy,
Was
but it's
Sasha?
true. Sasha was there too. We both went to Forks and we had a great time. And Doghouse Restaurants, get yourself a wiener.
Very, very cool.
At Adam Gertler.
And if you want to keep up with all the things I'm doing, you can find me at Roxy Striar. But right after this, on our sister network, AfterBuzz TV, I will be interviewing Edward Burns, who is the most incredible filmmaker and star of all time.
Wow.
So I love him, and I can't wait to talk to him.
Up top for that, girl.
Thanks.
At Jay Quasto, and the Whistle Sports Epic Tour continues. This weekend we're going to be in New Jersey for the Rutgers-Ohio State game, and I'm going to be in New York City the next couple nights. I'm flying out tonight. I might be doing a show or two, so hit me up on social media. And next weekend, if you live near Jacksonville, Florida, I'm at the Jacksonville Comedy Club. I'm headlining 2 nights, and then we're shooting at the Florida-Georgia game in Jacksonville. So if you're in Florida near Jacksonville, hit me up. I'd love for you to come out to the show. I get the headlines. That'll be pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so go to jacksonvillecomedy.com for tickets, or just hit me up on social media, and we'll talk about it. So other than that, great show, guys. Great day for us.
All right.
Big day. Big day. Let's
See you
hit that
next time,
music. We
everybody.
love you guys. See you soon.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, Christian Harloff, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of its owners or principals.